Dr. James Davis.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to serve under your chairmanship, Mr McVeigh, and I congratulate my honourable friend, the member for Berwickshire, Roxburgh and Selkirk, for securing this important debate. The government's Levelling Up agenda, and in particular the Union Connectivity Review, represent a very welcome step forward for North Wales, where there have been decades of underinvestment in infrastructure. While the UCR focuses on all forms of transport connectivity, in the interests of time, I'll confine my comments today to rail services. The Mersey-D North Wales All-Party Parliamentary Group, which I chair, works closely with a rail task force of the same footprint, otherwise known as Growth Track 360, to promote the infrastructure needs of our region. For this area, the connectivity we need is not just efficient long-distance travel, but also fit-for-purpose regional services which can better support day-to-day life and the success of our cross-border economy. Mobile phone data from 2019 demonstrates that the number of daily journeys from North Wales to the Northwest is more than 20 times higher than the number from North Wales to other parts of Wales. These journeys take place despite the poor existing infrastructure. At present, a 65-mile journey by train from Prestatyn in my constituency to central Manchester takes at least 1 hour 45 minutes, and travelling by car is a quicker option at just over an hour. A rail journey of the same distance in the southeast takes as little as 40 minutes. Perhaps unsurprisingly, currently only 1% of cross-border commuting in our region is by rail, some 80% less than the national average. Sir Peter Hendy's interim report highlights connections from Ynys Môn and the North Wales coast to Merseyside and Manchester for freight and passengers as a key issue arising from the work he has undertaken so far. This recognition is very welcome, as is £20 million of funding to explore the development of projects across the country. I hope that forthcoming plans for the North Wales line will be ambitious, seeking provision for 8 train paths per hour, greater line speeds, more frequent signalling stanchions as necessary, and the accommodation of express, freight and stopping services. In the APPG submission to the UCR in January, I raised the need for HS2 to work for North Wales. It's pleasing to see the UCR acknowledge this also. It will require the correct configuration at Crewe, including both a hub station and a junction to allow trains to reconnect to HS2 northbound. It's also important that the interchange between HS2 and Northern Powerhouse Rail at Warrington is of an arrangement which benefits North Wales and West Cheshire. Ultimately, the electrification of the Crewe to Holyhead line will be necessary both for reasons of connectivity and decarbonisation, and preferably by the point at which HS2 first operates. In her response, I would appreciate an indication from the Minister of how the initial £20 million UCR fund is to be allocated and prioritised, and timescales for the process. Madam Chairman, Sir Peter Hendy's interim report shows that the UCR is heading in the right direction. The review must continue to focus on how infrastructure of national and regional importance, including that which is divided by an administrative border, can be delivered in a more successful and joined up fashion. Thank you.